So let's just jump right into the PowerPoint to the PP here as we...
To the PP. Yeah, I get it. He's cringe. We already went over that. We're just here for the legal stuff. All right, he's jumping right into it. Let's go.
We do have new information. And I don't want to go into all the details, but that new information indicates that this will likely not be added to Ramsey's current trial. So it is very likely this will not be added to the current trial. Now,
Jonny Somali is... Oh, let me get back into the game screen first for this. There's those transitions and stuff I engineered, guys. I'm like a fucking engineer. Alright. Anyway, how fucked is Jonny Somali? Now, when we last checked in with him, he had already pled guilty to a few charges. So we know he's at the very least getting a fine. I predicted he's going to get 5 years minimum in Korea, in a Korean prison. But he still had a few, like the worst charge was yet to come, and he still had a few other things that he had to go to court for. So I have a feeling we're about to find out how that went and just how fucked Jonny Somali actually is. How much of his life has he actually ruined? Is it just a few years, or will he be old and gray by the time he steps foot on American soil again? Let's find out. Legal mindset. And look, I know, I get it. I've heard all the fucking, I've read the comments, okay? I've heard you guys loud and clear. You keep telling me that Legal Mindset had a fucking Passport Bro channel and he's cringe and blah blah blah. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. For what it's worth, I agree with you. It looks like he did have a Passport Bro channel and then he deleted it, whatever. If he's not making that content anymore, I don't really care. He does live the Passport Bro lifestyle, so you know, he actually moved over there, but I don't care. I'll agree he's cringe. I'll agree all that is cringe. But if the legal advice he's given and his legal analysis are accurate, that's all the fuck I care about. The less I know about his personal life, the better. I come to Legal Mindset for legal shit, and that's all I want to see. That being said, Legal Mindset, take her away.
Big updates in the trial of Ramsey Khalid Ismail, aka Jonny Somali. That will be a nightmare in this case and a nightmare for Ramsey. So we're going to get into that today on the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney who's been covering this case from back to front. And we're going to get into it today on this Fast Facts episode. Of course, the Fast Facts are the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. If you like this, please like the video and leave a comment below. So let's just jump right into the PowerPoint to the PP here as we...
To the PP. Yeah, I get it. He's cringe. We already went over that. We're just here for the legal stuff. All right, he's jumping right into it. Let's go.
Have an update here. Now, of course, for a little bit of a refresher, for those that just want to recap very, very briefly, he currently, Ramsey, has been charged with 8 different criminal charges. His next court date is on October 29th of 2025. He has pled guilty to all of the obstruction charges. That's 4 counts. All of the Minor Offenses Act, which is 2 counts. And he has pled not guilty to the 2 deepfakes, which are going to come up at the next trial. So we've got that coming up for the next trial. And that leads us...
So he's already pled guilty to 6 out of the 8 charges. But they were all the minor stuff. So the 2 big things are the ones he's trying to fight on. Because I think those are the ones that come with jail time. The other ones I think he just gets a fine for. Maybe. Or may get jail time. I think they're going to throw the book at this kid. Like, I don't think... there's no way, after all the shit that he walked and the way he disrespected... all the shit that he talked and the way that he disrespected their country, there is 0 chance that he walks. They are going to throw the fucking book at this kid. I just know it. I will be shocked if he gets to walk away from this a free man.
Into the sentencing. And this is something I really want to update, as after the trial, I've seen a ton of clickbait, a ton of misinformation. The maximum amount he is facing is 12 years. Anything else is...
We predicted 5. I don't think he'll get the max. But I don't think he'll get the minimum. Probably be somewhere in the middle. Long enough to set a good example, but not giving him the max so that, they look like they're being fair. So that's what I think is going to happen. I don't think that Korea is going to go full scorched earth, because then, that'll probably get them some backlash. But if it looks like they're trying to be fair to the people outside of Korea, but to the citizens that live there, it looks like they're still, trying to protect their honor and do right by them, I think it's going to land somewhere in the middle. I'm guessing 5 years.
It's just trying to get you to click. It's just trying to not, make it sound better. That is the total under the guidelines. Now, some channels just aren't factoring in the guidelines, and that's kind of innocent and or unintentional. Other ones are intentionally doing it's clickbait. I'm not going to call them all out. You guys know them, but just make sure that is the maximum. That is a total, and that is the accurate number. Now, most likely, people are asking, Andrew, what is your guess now? I think it's going to be somewhere at least at the minimum on the default. That's my guess. So, at the bottom, I would think about 4 years, 9 months. That would be
okay. I guess 5. Default is 4 years, 9 months. I didn't even read all that. Aggravated is 8. And then the max is 12. I guessed 5. It may even be closer to 8 because that looks like the middle ground. So between 5 and 8. I'm still going to guess 5. I don't think that they'll go full aggravated. I don't know. It depends on how pissed they are at him. He did talk a lot of shit though.
Be reasonable, and it could go all the way up to 12. So somewhere between 4 and 12, obviously being what I think. I don't think he's going to get the mitigated minimum. I think 4 years and 9 months, that'd be a reasonable minimum. And it could go up to 8 years, 10, 9, 10, 12, 11. We'll see. But 4 is definitely something that can happen in this case. Now, Somali will go to jail even if he appeals. So this is something people have asked. What if he appeals? It actually is quite easy to appeal in South Korea, but you do not get that as a get out of jail free card. Appealing is not a get out of jail free card. So even if he appeals, he's appealing from jail. So
yeah, he's going to jail for sure then.
That's not going to really help him with staying out of Korean jail. And by the time that he appeals, by the time he gets through everything.
Now, I've never been to jail, and I'm not sure how appeals work here. The way he's talking makes me think if you appeal in the States, do you not go to jail until your punishment is finalized even on appeal? If you appeal immediately and they give you parole or house arrest or something like that. I'm not sure how that works here. But there looks like he's definitely seeing some jail time.
He'll likely be deep within his sentence, right? He might even not be finished with his appeal by the time he's already done serving his time. So there's that. Beyond that, what are some updates?
Yeah, if he only gets 4 years, if he gets that minimum that he was looking at, the 4 years and 9 months, or the 5 like I'm predicting, depends on how long appeal court takes. It could take a few years. He may end up serving out his whole sentence before his appeal actually goes through, and I imagine they will take their sweet time with his appeal, so that probably happens. So then it doesn't look like they're trying to just ignore him. They can say, well, we gave him the chance to appeal, but our court system moves slow, and we gave him, and then they just get to take the W there and say, well, we gave him the sentence we gave him was so short he didn't even have time to appeal, so we were being fair to the foreigner, but we couldn't let him disrespect our country. Yeah, that's probably how it'll play out.
Well, we have a huge witness update. So the next trial is October 29th, and it's going to be witness testimony. Witness. It's going to be crazy. And we already know that there were going to be 2 witnesses there, Bong Bong and Youngman. But now we have official confirmation that there will be actually 3 witnesses. And this has been confirmed by the court filing. So we know this is a fact. Once again, we go on facts, not speculation. These are things that are absolutely locked in. So we know there's going to be 3. So who is this third person? Well, this third person is absolutely Somali's true nightmare. And this is the worst case for Ramsey. That third person is none other than Yu Dao-gun. None other than the SEAL, the underwater demolition team member, which is essentially the Korean Navy SEAL, who, of course, gave that infamous punch. He went viral for that. Somali.
The one who, he fucking hates him, dude. He was the one that just fucking popped him one. They view this guy as a hero. By the way, Somali is not a victim of assault. He had it coming, and they view him as a hero. Oh, yeah, he's fucked, dude. He's beyond fucked.
Somali, has been trying to bury this guy maliciously in civil lawsuits, but he's actually had all of his law fines paid off, all of his stuff paid off. There was a very generous donation by Donut Operator that I helped facilitate that essentially paid everything off that Somali tried to bury him with. Somali talks tough and says, I don't call the cops, I don't rat, blah, blah, blah. He immediately reported this when he immediately went after him, and he's been dedicated. Dalgun is dedicated to bringing down Somali. He's always been helpful with the
yeah, they view him as a hero. He is going to have a lot of support.
Proceedings. And the most important thing is he's not going to be scared by Somali and his gang. Now, Somali and his gang tried to scare Bong Bong. I think, Jungman's not really going to be scared either, but it's really not going to work with Dalgun. Dalgun is not going to bend the knee. He's not going to flinch. He doesn't have dirt on him. He's pretty clean overall. It's something that it's going to be really hard for the lawyer for Ramsey to fight back against. It's going to be
and he's in their military, so he could probably kick all your asses.
Really, really, really difficult for them to try to take down Yu Dalgun because they really don't have the same pressure points and they're not going to have the same ability to try to press in. So whereas, we don't know how Bong Bong will perform when she's put up as a witness. We don't know how Jungman will perform. He's a little bit of a wild card, but I can say Dalgun is going to be a solid performance on the stand. He's going to be very, no nonsense, straightforward, not going to be able to break him mentally or physically. And that is the worst thing that could happen for Johnny. As for Ramsey's lawyer, there's been a lot of misinformation to the point that I felt the need to correct this. And this does happen from time to time with other channels. He has not resigned. There's some fake channels and fake news and other stuff like that are putting that out there. He is still the attorney of record. When you step...
Is he talking about Lus? I don't watch Lus anymore, but he can get emotional and get shit wrong and jump the gun. As far as law tubers go, he's I don't think he's a very good one.
Down, that has to be a court filing, or if there's a switch in attorney. He has not changed his representation. He has not stepped down. If he does step down, I would know immediately because they would have to go through the official proceedings, and we'll give you that update immediately. But until I give you an update that Ramsey's lawyers step down, he's still the lawyer. So that's misinformation. Now, do I think he could step down? Maybe, sure, in the future it's possible, but he hasn't. Factually, he hasn't. So that's a big thing I wanted to clear up. Next, the Child Welfare Act. This is something that a lot of people are asking me about. And I want to be very frank with you about this because once again, this is under ongoing investigation. We do not know. We do not know yet whether they will decide to bring this. And that is a very important fact. We want them to. We've provided them with the best information they can get. All the information they've got is the best information they can get. There's not going to be more information. It's going to make a better case to charge him under the CWS Child Welfare Act than what we have provided and what they have. They've gotten some interviews. They've gotten.
What have they? Yeah. What have you guys provided? I mean, I don't think he's good for children, but did he do anything specifically to a child while he was over there? I don't know what that act covers in Korea. I don't know Korean law very well.
Follow up. They've got,
and by very well, I mean at all.
Gotten extra information, so we know it's ongoing. We know they're taking it seriously. However, we do have new information, and I don't want to go into all the details, but that new information indicates that this will likely not be added to Ramsey's current trial. So it is very likely this will not be out of the current trial. Now, some of you may be sad about that because you may say, okay, well, this could have delayed the current trial and kept them longer. Well, hold on. It's not necessarily bad. What would happen if, once again, if prosecutors decide to indict him, they'll probably do that in a different district, probably not the Western, probably the Eastern, and that will be a new trial. And likely by that time, Somali's trial will either be over or almost over. And even better, he'll be sentenced. So then they'd be dragging him in a prison jumpsuit. He'll be in the prison gear for the new trial.
Which is a bad look if you're doing it in front of a jury, even though you're supposed to have a fair trial. When they make you come out in the prison jumpsuit, which I think there's been cases where prisoners have requested to be able to wear street clothes during their trial, even if they were in jail and not have to wear the jumpsuit. I don't know if that works. I don't know if those requests work or if you can do that. But perception is everything. If it's a jury trial, because jurors are supposed to be non-biased and they're supposed to, you know, go only with the information that are given, but these aren't law professionals. These are just normal people, and, you know, first impressions are everything, and a lot of those people do work off of emotion, which is why jury trials are always kind of a gamble to a certain extent, because you come out in the jumpsuit, you already look like a criminal. They already have it in their mind that you are a criminal, even if they are, you know, even if no one says it. That's just like the feeling that they get. You feel like a criminal. You're already wearing the jumpsuit. Yeah, it's just a bad look, and they got to stare at you in that jumpsuit the whole time they're supposed to be judging you, which means that they're more likely to judge you as guilty because you look guilty.
Which makes sure he's a convicted criminal. It's definitely an aggravation. It doesn't look good. This would be very, very bad for him and would extremely extend his time in Korea if he is convicted of the Child Welfare Act. That would extend his time a great deal, because it's a new charge. So this is something that I want everybody to be aware of. We're going to watch it. We're going to keep you updated. This is not a bad thing. This is not a bad thing. In fact, procedurally, it could be a W, huge W.
Okay, so that was the only update. I thought there was going to be more to it than that, but I guess it's just the fact that he may get a new charge added and the new witness being added. That's the big one, because that dude is definitely going to have all of Korea on his side. He has more fans than Johnny over there. I still think it's going to be 5 years, though. I don't think it's changed as much as far as sentencing goes, other than it locks in at least that 5 years. All right. Well, there's an update on Jonny Somali.